Anyway, it's good to be. So in today's episode, we're talking about comics. I mean, content. Which is revealed that DC has released something new that will be the Giant comics. For those who don't know, the Giant comics that they're going to be replacing them with this new 4-pack comics that will now, of course, that will have four new comics of fronts, mini posters too. Bought 2 of them and fine. The Warren Ellis situation with the dinosaur Batman story being removed from death metal. Same time, DC is removing it. Also, the Gal Gadot Wonder Woman poster supporting the new release date as the movie. Good morning, good luck on your ship. Thank you. And finally we'll be talking about the Undertaker hiring from wrestling, announcing his retirement on the WWE special Undertaker The Last Ride. It kind of stunned me, but I guess we'll talk about it. Hearing the Undertaker retiring, it surprised me the same way as Sting announcing his retirement at the WWE Hall of Fame. That one kind of it surprises me at the same time. I understand. Sting, of course, got hurt at Night of Champions against Seth Rollins and injured his back. He has spinal stenosis, I think is what it is. Of course, he announced his retirement. And I followed Sting's career the same way as I grew up watching. The first Undertaker match I ever seen was him against Yokozuna in a casket. And which, it was in my opinion, one of my favorite matches. I know most people will go through the Mick Foley Undertaker match all on Sunday. I mean, who can blame them? That was one hell of a match, but to me, I always loved the match against Yokozuna. I think it's just one of those matches I love because it was the first match I ever see him in. It was on a VHS tape, and it to me was a classic match. And hearing the many surgeries he had a hip replacement, then he had 2 knee replacements. It was just like it was his time to go to retire, and you can't blame him. When you have 2 knee replacements, I think on both knees, you kind of don't blame him retiring. You're just like, I get it, and he gave a lot to WWE. He was. Most people always say like Hulk Hogan is the Babe Ruth of the WWE. You can't, of course he is. I mean, rock and wrestling and all that, and you can't forget the Undertaker. That guy was the WWE through and through. Same way Sting was WCW. And of course he talked about the match between him and Sting. And he, of course, wouldn't want it to happen nowadays because it just wouldn't be right. And, I have to say this. I agree. I am glad there was never a Sting versus Undertaker match at WrestleMania or SummerSlam or Survivor Series, which is the irony of both of them debuted in WWE the same pay-per-view Survivor Series. And for me, I'm glad they never did it. I'm glad there was never a match between Sting and the Undertaker because, no offense to them, they're both older, and I, I honestly don't want to see them wrestle now because it would ruin the what if, moment of like, what if they did wrestle? What would it be like? And I kind of don't want to see it. I'm glad I never will get to see that match because it's better off of being a what if moment. Like, what if the Undertaker and Sting did fight? And I'm happy both of them are, retired. I mean, of course, Undertaker went out with the Undertaker versus AJ Styles. That was that was a hell of a match. That was, I think, by far one of the best matches at WrestleMania, and he got to go out the way he did. I mean, it was kind of a cool moment because he came into the match. It wasn't even like a wrestling in the ring match. It was like a boneyard match, which was them basically having a street fight in a boneyard. And he came in on the motorcycle with Metallica playing, which was badass. And after the match, he of course won and buried AJ Styles, and he won. And the Undertaker drove off on the motorcycle. It was, it's his way of putting it, a cowboy riding off. That was that to me is kind of the way that's the best way he went out on. Yeah. So for me, thank you, Taker, man. That was, my favorite incarnation of the Undertaker to me was Lord of Darkness. He had his own cult, with Midian, Viscera, the Acolytes, Edge and Christian, Gangrel, Paul Bearer, Lord of Darkness one. That was the coolest one in my opinion. Even though looking back on it, it's kind of cheesy and stuff, but he it was pretty cool. It was. I know a lot of people, of course, would say the American Badass, which was him coming out to the Kid Rock song "American Badass" and "Rollin'" by Limp Bizkit, which was pretty cool. Was a lot of people's favorite, but my favorite one is the Lord of Darkness one. I think that one, in my opinions, that one in my opinion is my favorite one because he, got to be this crazy looking taker, and I mean, I like the Big Evil one. When he was the Big Evil, the biker gimmick. But in my opinion, the Lord of Darkness one will always be my favorite because you got to see him kind of be something different, and it was kind of weird though because like, he was the Undertaker during the Attitude Era, which was kind of like the reality, the Attitude Era where he still got to be himself, but everyone around him changed, like Stone Cold became the beer drinking, flipping the balls off and type of person, and you know, but you got to see him kind of change a bit, but looking back on it, like the biker thing, I kind of see why Vince McMahon hated it because the Undertaker was his creation idea, and And it's kind of sad though. Like that's like the Undertaker retiring. That's kind of like the last McMahon, guy to go. So for me, it's kind of like at the same time hearing him talk about like he had like both eye sockets were broke. He had I think a shoulder issue, pectoral muscle. The one that got me was the knee replacement. I was like, shit. So anyway, let's get to the other news and stuff. But man, it's kind of sad though. Like you won't hear the Undertaker theme song anymore. But at the same time, you're kind of happy he got to walk out the way he or drove the rode the motorcycle out the way he wanted to go out. Gotta be happy about that. That's still cool though. Like all of a sudden you see him coming out on the motorcycle, driving on the road on the motorcycle, hearing Metallica play. That was a badass moment for wrestling. So Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman 84 has pushed its release date again. Well, this time to October. Uh, Originally, it was supposed to come out in June. Then it, pushed back to August. Now it's October 2nd. I will say this. They should have just released it the way they did with Scooby Doo. Release it early on, you know, streaming platforms like I think it's out on like YouTube, um, uh, then Amazon, and Voodoo, uh, Apple. You know, it was released on a lot of those um, platforms and stuff, and they should have just released Wonder Woman the same way. I mean, like I would have paid $25 on Amazon for it. I would, you know, but instead they want to release it in theaters. Patty Jenkins, of course, was like the movie's gonna come out straight to the theaters. For me, it's just it's kind of annoying that they are kind of releasing it on that day. And it's kind of weird though to see like promotional things in stores, like Wonder Woman on Doritos. Like the movie ain't even out, and it's cool that they want to release it in theaters, but they're kind of releasing it in the most awkward time. I mean, like they think the coronavirus, that flu season's coming around in October, and you're releasing it when flu season starts. It's kind of messed up and stuff. And it's kind of one of the most awkward things that they want to do, and it's at the same time hilarious how they released a poster when it was pushed back to August, and now it's pushed back to October. They released the same poster, just different release date. It's kind of it's the funniest thing to see, and you have on the poster Gal Gadot and her golden Wonder Woman armor with these angel type wings holding the lasso of truth, and it says, Wonder Woman 84, 1984, only in theaters October 2nd, 2020. It's kind of hilarious in a way, and it's the same poster that they released for the August Now it's the same. It's the same one for October, and you're just looking at it, and you're like, the fuck. And to me, it's funny because imagine being that person like, all right, I'm gonna buy the poster for August, and it's like I'm gonna get the one for October. It's like the same one, just different release dates. And if I was them, I would have put like the previous release dates and just like put it like a line across like like you're scratching it out with a pencil. Then it's like October, right? June scratched out, August scratched out, October. Here it is. And I put like a little word possibly it's October because they might push it back for 2021. Who the fuck knows? I kind of hope in a way they push it back because that would be hilarious because it would be pushed back for the fourth time. Like it's the third time they did it. It'd be funny. It would be funny though. I mean, I still look forward to seeing it. I really do. Um, I honestly do. I do look forward to seeing it, and you know, I I can't wait to see where it goes. Especially, sorry, sorry about that. I kind of been quitting caffeine. For me, like I kind of been picking caffeine to the curb. I haven't had any caffeine since yesterday, and it's not pretty good though. But anyway, I woke up also, so um, yesterday was pretty rough for me. Like when I decided to quit caffeine, I had like a caffeine headache. For those who don't know, like what it is, it's like caffeine headache's like one of those painful things to feel like your skull is being crushed because your body's kind of like trying to adjust, like realize you don't have caffeine in the system. So for me, I've been quitting caffeine, and it's been very, very tough. I mean, it's like one of the most difficult things. I've been drinking between water. I've been drinking uh, sparkling water flavor, which isn't bad, but no caffeine in the system. For me, that's been the most challenging one. So anyway, uh, rumor on this one. This one is kind of. I hope this one happens. 'Cause I'm a fan of this guy. Jeffrey Dean Morgan once again is in the running to play Flashpoint Batman in the Flash movie. The Flash is reportedly back on track, re-entering production, knowing the film's adapting the Flashpoint, which is the story arc by Jeff Johns, is on. They also be on track again. Include a wider array of DC characters like Batman, who was Thomas Wayne under the hood. Um, Cinema Spot writes Jeffrey Dean Morgan is circling the role. Last we heard of formal talks have not yet begun. He He tweeted also he was working on a story last month which changed focus because publishing Morgan, who was gunned down as Thomas Wayne in Batman v Superman, isn't guaranteed in he talks if they start to fall through. I want to see, and of course, Jeffrey Dean Morgan posted this photo of him as Thomas Wayne Batman, and I really, I want to see Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Thomas Wayne. I really do. I want to see him play Thomas Wayne, Flashpoint Batman, because he is really a good actor. He is fucking awesome on The Walking Dead. I watched his episodes of The Walking Dead when he arrived as, you know, when he arrives on the show and stuff. It's really awesome to see him play a villain because I seen him on Supernatural as John Winchester and stuff. And for me, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, is a good actor. He can play, any type of role. He could play a charming person, and he could play Negan the next thing. But it was, when you watch him, and I remember he was in one show, one miniseries that I really enjoyed. It was him, and of course, one of my favorite actors of all time, Bill Paxton, Ray Liotta, Brendan Fraser, and it was in Texas Rising. And um, Bill Paxton played General Sam Houston, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan played, you know, Deaf Smith, and it was really an awesome, you know, part. And you got to see Crispin Glover play Mosley Baker, and if you've never seen who Crispin Glover is, if you look at him, you're like, that dude should play the Joker. Because he was in this one movie I saw him in, and it scared the shit out of me. It was like one of those movies that made me realize I don't like rats. And Wilfred, I think is what it's called. Wilfred or Wildrow, I forget what the fuck his name. Wildred or something. I think that's what it is. Wildred. It was like one of the most fucked up movies I have ever seen in my life. And it's about this dude who becomes friends with rats, and he becomes friends with this white rat, and I don't know what it is. It was like one of the most fucked up movies I have ever seen, and this dude uses rats, and attack you know, they attack people he doesn't like or something. It was like one of the most fucked up movies I have ever seen in my life, and I was just like, this movie is fucking horrible. I mean, it wasn't horrible, but it was just like it was a fucked up movie, and I just did not. And it kind of made me not like rats. I just like it's kind of bad enough. Like, of course, yesterday was Father's Day, and the next thing you know, one of the cats outside the cat farm brought me a dead rodent. I am not making this, and it brought me a dead rodent and just looked at me like, here you go. I was just like, and the funny thing about it was, I was, in my room, and I was, of course, my room is also my office where I record the show and stuff. I was writing and stuff, and next thing you know, I look over at a tree that's like right next to my window, and there's a cat, Alfred, climbed up the tree and looking at me, watching me. Like, what are you doing? And it was after a squirrel to kill. And I'm thinking, like, you cats are crazy. I feed you cats. I feed you. You don't. That's why I feed you, so you don't have to kill anything. But it was just like, it was funny though, and I said that it was kind of funny that I was telling, you know, like, cats brought me, a dead rodent, and I looked at Lola. I was like, "You never brought me anything for Father's Day," and it was yeah, but it was really cool. You know, it was funny and awesome, and yeah, I think for me it was kind of like one of the funniest things ever. Like, yeah. So, but it was funny though because um, Lola, of course, ended up sleeping on top of me. I woke up and it's kind of what it was. It's kind of what it is. Like I love cats, and they're just amazing. At the same time, you go outside. I I will tell you this one. The funniest thing about it, like I've never seen cats that have like a very personality type thing. Like, it was kind of funny though. Like every time I go outside, I see them in chairs. They sit out in the lawn chairs at a table, and it looks like they are having a conversation. And when you go outside, they just like look at you, and they just have that expression like what and stuff. And the funny thing about it is the cat I named Edward, who always looks angry. He always is. The cat always looks angry. Like he will just look at me with like this expression of like, you know, of like, do you want to fight type thing. So it's kind of funny though. Like between that one and the black and white cat, I take photos of that just sits there and just watches me. Like this cat just like I took several photos of this cat just watching me, and it follows me. Then like one day I was on the porch. I was sitting um, in the lawn chair, just sort of like enjoying outside. Like I was outside, like enjoying, the sun and all that. Like all of a sudden, the cat jumps in my lap and just wants to be petted. Like it just looks at me, then it just like wants to be held. And all of a sudden, I'm doing this like I'm enjoying it. All of a sudden, I feel two eyes from the window looking at me, and it was Lola. Just like it was kind of funny though. Oh, anyway, I bought the. I talked about it in the opening of the show. DC Comics is doing away with their giant books, and they released the replacement of what they're going to replace the DC giant books with, and they replaced it with the 4 pack. You buy 4 books. You buy you buy 4 books. You get the mini poster with it for $8. And I bought 2 of them. I decided to see what both packs have. Like mini posters, I just like, it'd be this or that. Um, and yesterday, of course, I went to the flea market. My dad decided to go to the flea market on Father's Day. One person was selling comics, believe it or not. I was just like, finally, it's not like an unwanted garage sale. Because all they sell is like tools and plants and shit. Like, I was like, finally, somebody that has something that's worth buying. So I went to Walmart and I saw the 4 pack, and I decided to buy like I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna see what two of them have. You know, so and they come with variant covers. They have like variant covers in the 4 pack, which I think is awesome. Sorry about that. And take a look at the 4 pack that they have. So the first one, um, first cover that you see of it has Wonder Woman 755, which is a variant cover, which is a cool cover, I will admit. Like it has Wonder Woman standing on the island at the Themyscira holding her lasso of truth. Pretty cool. Robbie, which is the Rooster Teeth anime cartoon. It's the first issue. I've been talking about. I have the 6th issue, and I needed to get the issue 1 through 5. I have issue 1, so I just need 2 to 5. So pretty cool. I really enjoyed the issue 6. I thought it was really cool comics, and I think it's really awesome. Detective Comics 1022. I don't know if I have it one. I don't know. Year of the Villain, Hell Horizon. Hell Arisen or Hell Horizon. And the mini poster it came with is Wonder Woman, which is cool. Fine. The second one I bought, and the cover book I saw that I just had to get Batman '89, which of course is the big issue that everybody made a big deal about. Worth a lot of money because one page, the final page, which is the first appearance of Punchline. It was like the most ridiculous thing ever. It's just like they made a big fucking deal out of this character, and I'm sorry, the character just sucks. That's just my opinion of it. The character just sucks. So Batman '89. I haven't read it. I haven't even read the Batman '86. You know, Wonder Woman 755. I knew I was gonna get copies of the same book out of this pack. I kind of knew it. Catwoman 22. I like the title of it. Watch out, Catwoman. Pretty cool cover. I love the cover. It's pretty awesome. Catwoman 22. Yeah, Catwoman is she like ready to open up a can of whoop ass on 2 female thugs. Batgirl. Batgirl 45. I haven't read Batgirl since the one where Nightwing shows up. The mini poster of this one was Batman, which is pretty cool. Now, the 2 comics I found at the flea market, um, Batman 6, Detective Comics, Batman 661. I've been collecting Detective Comics for a while. Spawn number 2. This I think is pretty cool. If it was Spawn 1, I would be having, I would be selling it. So, those are the ones I found at the flea market. Was those 2 books out of it? Like I enjoyed looking through them, but it was just most of them were Avengers books, which were pretty cool. But for me, it was so awesome to find like some Batman books. Like, yeah, so those were like the ones I found. So yeah. So anyway, so do I want to see Jeffrey D. Morgan? Anyway, back to the Morgan thing. Do I want to see him play Batman, Flashpoint Batman? Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's Jeffrey D. Morgan. Yeah. So anyway, this one's pretty funny though. Rumor is, open that one up. Robert Pattinson comes clean about his Batman workout routine. I don't get it. Like a lot of people got, saying he didn't lift weights, he didn't work out, he didn't do. It's like, for me, I said it like this one. He doesn't have to be big and bulky like Ben Affleck Batman. Like if you look at like the guy who's handling I think the fight training and choreography, I think is the guy who did John Wick. I think it is the guy who did John Wick because I remember somebody posted it. It was like him and the guy who did fighting training and all that for John Wick. Um, if you look at Keanu Reeves, he's not a big bulky dude like Ben Affleck Batman. He's a very skinny. I won't say skinny, but he's a very lean dude. And if you look at the fight scenes and all that, like it was awesome, but also like, damn, he just like fucking brutalized. That's what they're going for Robert Pattinson's Batman is this insane fighting, you know, style. Like, he brutalizes, he brutalizes the people he, is beating the shit out of. That's what they're going for. I think that's the fight thing that they're going for is that. And for me, it's an awesome thing to see, and I think, in my opinion, that's what they're going for. And I look forward to seeing some of the fight scenes and stuff. Like I also look forward to seeing the Snyder cut of you know Justice League. I look forward to that. That's gonna be awesome. But at the same time, I also look forward to seeing what Pattinson's Batman's gonna bring to the table and shit. Like I look forward to it. And I can't wait to see how Zoe Kravitz does with Catwoman. It's the same thing. Like hearing how enthusiastic and excited she is for to play Catwoman. She wants to get back to work. She wants to get back to filming and stuff. I look forward to seeing Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman. I think she's going to do a fantastic job as Catwoman, and I think she's going to you know I think she's going to kick a lot of people's ass as Catwoman. I think that's going to be awesome and stuff. And you know I honestly think that they you know with Catwoman, I can't wait to see what they do with her. Like this is like the big opportunity for Catwoman, on film and stuff. Like you're going to see like this character evolve from the first film, and you're gonna. I hope, fingers crossed. Like I hope they give Zoe Kravitz her own Catwoman film, and you get to see this character and stuff. Like I want to see Catwoman, start out and you see her go on her journey. And, of course, she comes back in the Batman films, and you kind of see like this whole Batman mini universe, and I want to see that. I want to see the same thing with Dick Grayson. I want to see him grow from Robin to Nightwing, and you get to see the fallout between him and Bruce, and he becomes Nightwing. Of course, he comes back. You know, um, that's what I want to see. I want to see that, and I want to see that for every character. I want to see them evolve. I want to see them grow. And for me, like as much as I love The Dark Knight Rises, it sucks that we did not get to see Anne Hathaway do a Catwoman movie, or and stuff. And I keep saying still to this day that Dark Knight Rises, Warner Brothers should have been like, let's make that a two-part film. Like, but it's awesome for Zoe Kravitz because you're going to see. And I think that's why she's so enthusiastic about coming back to work. And it's kind of funny though. I kind of went back to, oddly enough, I kind of went back to the Imagine video where she looked high but also looked depressed. And I think that's where, like, I honestly think she was kind of like excited for doing, to do Batman, do filming. I think when, um, before the pandemic thing happened, I think she started filming for Batman, and I think she was really excited for it. Then they shut down. And I think it's what happened. And you know, the word, hearing the word, around is that there's going to be a big part for Catwoman in this movie, and I think she's excited for it. I think, and for me, I'm excited for the Catwoman character. I can't wait to see what they do with Catwoman. And for me, I can't wait. I think there's going to be so many things they're going to do with the character. I would love to see them, do the Batman film, then, do a Catwoman movie, then do the second Batman film, and Catwoman back, tie in the ending of, tie in the films together, like, tie them together and see what happens. Like, and I would love to see them do a Gotham City Sirens film. I really do. I know that um, Margot Robbie and them want to do a Gotham City Sirens movie, but honest to God, like, I'd rather see a Catwoman movie. I'd rather see Catwoman set up and establish before throwing her into the Gotham City Sirens. I really do. And I wouldn't mind seeing like Margot Robbie pop up and Catwoman, and they talk a bit, and she goes away, and Catwoman's like, "What the hell was that about?" Type of thing. And like for me, I'd rather see a character that's been around for 80 years that deserves the proper due be set up before you throw her in something. And I think that's what the problem was with the last, I think that's what the problem was with the Birds of Prey film. Was it was just that they threw these characters in there and nobody knew what to do with them. And you know, for me, I want to see Catwoman get her due instead of being thrown into something that you're gonna be like, what the fuck was that for? Like um, for me, I would love to see them do Hush movie. I would love to see them do um, of course they're probably going to be doing Long Halloween because the way the film sounds, it's like they're going to basically do Long Halloween. um, for me, I would love to see them do No Man's Land. Of course, like that's one story I just want to see done right. I mean, I would love to see it be done in an animated film. Like, for me, that'd be fucking dope. I think for me, that's kind of what I want to see. I want to see that one. Hush, I would love to see. Of course, like, I would love to see, know, the guy who plays Pennywise play Hush, or I forget who I want to see play. I know if Ben Affleck was doing a movie, Matt Damon, of course, would be brilliant as Hush. If you ever seen The Talented Mr. Ripley, Mr. Ridley, you will definitely be like, that dude can play a very twisted person. You know, oh, that'd be kind of cool though. You know, but for the Batman films, I know a lot of people are kind of going like this film's gonna be. A lot of people are going like this film's gonna be woke. It's gonna be Batman's not gonna be Batman. It's like you know, I I wouldn't say that. I really wouldn't because you look at the many films Robert Pattinson has done. He I know a lot of people always say like he doesn't take the role serious, but it's like if you ever look at the way he talks about films and stuff, he does in a way. Like he just has a very sarcastic humor, and a lot of people got mad about it, in interviews the way he was just like joking about his training and stuff. I defended it, of course. I said like the guy is very sarcastic. If you ever watch him in interviews, he's very sarcastic. You kind of tell like the expression he doesn't want to be there, but he uses sarcasm just to entertain himself to get through things. I do it all the time. I do it all the time. Um, I and a lot of us do it. I went to I went to a family reunion. I was sarcastic half the time. Part of it was I didn't want to be there. Part of it I just sort of mellowed in because I realized you know, my family members have have a very sarcastic humor and stuff. So it was fun. But I mean, if you think about it, like the dude has to do interviews with people. He has to like talk to like people he probably just doesn't fucking like, or people he finds annoying. I mean, Jesse Eisenberg did it once in an interview and stuff. Like, I mean, think about it. Like if you ever look at like Robert Pattinson just has that type of attitude. Like he just doesn't like. I think the best interview I ever seen him in was in Howard Stern because he talked about everything and stuff like that. They even got to like comic books where comic book films. I think he was like offered to do. He was offered, I think, in a movie, for the MCU or something. Like he was asked, like, would he ever do it? And he was just like, no. Yeah. I mean, you couldn't blame him. I mean, like, what character would he play for the MCU? And look at him now. He's like playing fucking Batman. Like, he's playing one of the, you know, greatest superheroes of all time. You know, you really couldn't blame him on that one. Like they're trying to figure out Iron Man for God's sakes. That's what they're trying to do. But anyway, rumor is George Lucas and Jon Favreau hated Star Wars: The Last Jedi. New rumor details both George Lucas and Jon Favreau hated Rian Johnson's Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Rumor comes from Nikita Sleeper Cell, Bionic Woman producer uh, Cameron Pasha, who recently spoke with um, Jeremy Giggs' Geeks and Gamers. Pasha states, quote, I don't have internal knowledge. I do have people who know George Lucas personally, and, well, who said to me he hates The Last Jedi. He was horrified by what happens. By what happened. I have people, screenwriters who worked with Lucasfilms, who told me directly he hates it. You really can't blame him. Like I like George Lucas. You know, like I said once, like my dad is like a diehard Star Wars fan. Like he's a diehard Star Wars fan. He's a diehard Yosemite Sam Elmer Fudd fan, and he's pissed off like what's going on with Elmer Fudd and Yosemite Sam, like taking away their guns and basically erasing the old cartoons and stuff. Like he was pissed off about that one. I never seen him. It was kind of funny though. Like he was I was saying, it's bullshit. Like he was just like, and it's kind of funny though. He has like a Yosemite Sam decal on his truck, and he put one on my car. I don't know why. Between that one and the prank that he did to me, like putting a Superman decal like right in the middle of my back window of my car, I was just mortified by what I saw. It was like this bright red fucking Superman symbol on my car, and it was just like, no. Like, I was just like, I don't know why he did it, but he did it. I didn't do anything to him, but he did it to me. He did it as a prank where I was just sort of like, why would you do this? Like, but it was funny though. Like, the funniest thing that ever happened was the Star Wars Force Awakens movie. We saw it in theaters. Me and my dad, and we went to go see it. It was the funniest thing that ever happened because at the theater it was like I told the story like several times on the podcast. I love telling it. It's like one of my favorite memory. One of my favorite memories going to the movies was just that one. Between that one and like seeing Harry Potter, which was like my first movie, technically the first movie I ever seen was Beauty and the Beast. I was a baby. I didn't even fucking remember that movie because my sisters wanted to see it. Um, and it's funny though. I have like the ticket, like the ticket stub. It's in my baby book, which is kind of weird. Anyway, it's kind of funny. I collect ticket stubs like movies I go see. Um, and it's always funny though because every one I have like a story. Like Aunt Anne was like the one where my aunt called right in the middle of the movie. And the other one is, of course, of course, is The Force Awakens. And I remember like the theater was packed. It was quiet. It was like silent. And you get to the scene where, spoiler alert, Han dies. It's quiet. And Han and Ben, who is Kylo Ren, are talking. It's very quiet. And all of a sudden, you hear the Jedi's, the lightsaber go up and stabs Han. And there's this entire quiet theater. All of a sudden, I hear right next to me. I'm like sitting at the last seat. The seats are like the last seat of the big screen. You see everything. I'm sitting there. Right at the end, and it's like the wall next to me. On the left, out of the entire silent theater, on the left of me, I hear, "That's bullshit." And it's my dad yelling that out loud, and I'm just sitting there going like, and I'm looking at him, and, and he goes like, "Can you believe this?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." He goes, "They killed Han Solo." What the fuck? And I'm just sitting there going like, this man was into like he was like half asleep, but he is like into the movie. But I thought he was like half asleep. I'm just sitting there going like, and throughout the whole movie, I'm like, where is Luke Skywalker? Like, that's all I'm asking. It's like, where's Luke? Like, but it was funny though, like like, and all of a sudden, like after the movie's over, my dad's like, we ain't seen the next one, and we never seen the next ones. Like, I don't even know what the fuck happened in Last Jedi or the what was it, Rise of Skywalker. I don't even know what happened in those movies. I honestly don't really give a shit. The Force Awakens one kind of like awakened, you know, the theater on that one. Like it was, it was just like the funniest thing. Like, and the funny thing about it is like he is like the most quiet person. My dad, he's very quiet when it comes to movies, but that one he was just like ranting, and he rant about it on the way home, like how bullshit that was. They killed, as he puts, they killed Harrison Ford. I was like, and I was like, they're making another Indiana Jones movie, and he's like, what are they gonna do? Push him in a fucking snake pit with spikes? Like, and I was just like he was just mad. Like he was mad about that. And I'd never seen him that mad over one actor dying in the film, and he was pissed about that. Like, and I'm sure if you bring it up to him, he'd just be pissed, like, saying like how bullshit that was. Like, anyway, the Pasha, the person, continues saying, so I started getting people to talk to me privately, someone who I will not identify, who I know has very deep roots inside the Lucasfilm today, and the George Lucas camp, as in personal relationships with Lucas himself, has said to me that Lucas has said privately he feels The Last Jedi, and uses the actual words, was soulless, that it lacks a soul, and that he was so shocked. Pasha empathized uh, about, uh, vividly of his source, saying, I don't know the slightest bit of doubt from the source that I got it from, who I know who knows Lucas. I know he knows Lucas. He then details how Jon Favreau, the guy who directed Iron Man 1, 2, and he played Happy Hogan in the Iron Man films, and I think the Avengers, and I think Spider-Man, also hates Last Jedi. I'm going to say this. I never revealed this publicly. I have a friend who is very close with Jon Favreau and has worked on several of his movies, and this is what he said. I don't know Jon Favreau. He said to me, Jon Favreau hates The Last Jedi. He also says, Favreau did not say this to me. I love Jon Favreau. I hope not. I hope not burned by a chance to work with him in the future. He elaborated on Favreau's opinion of The Last Jedi. Again, this is coming from a friend who knows, worked with Favreau Productions in his inner circle multiple times. He said to me, Favreau told him he once saw The Last Jedi and he realized that Star Wars was out of control, and that he's actively lobbied to get involved in it because he's a fan and he wanted to save the franchise. He added that it was just that Lucasfilm went to him, but he was like, guys, I can't help with this. You guys are on the wrong track. I honestly think that Jon Favreau could make a good Star Wars movie. I mean, I think he's involved with I think he's involved with the Mandalorian, which I've seen like one episode of it. I just couldn't really, I don't know, I just couldn't get into it that much. And it's nothing against the Mandalorian show. It's just like I'm not a really big, Disney person. And required to see that, you have to get Disney Plus, and I can't sit through Disney stuff. I can't. I really can't. I can't sit through Disney. I don't like. I don't know why. It's kind of funny though. Like I have cousins. I said this before. Like I have cousins who are big Disney fans. They went to Disneyland and or Disney World, I forget which one. I think they went to Disneyland. And for me, it's just like I am not a big Disney person. I'm sorry, like I just don't really care for Disney. Like if I had to choose between watching Mickey Mouse or Bugs Bunny, I'm going with Mickey Mouse. I mean, Bugs Bunny. I hate Mickey. Like I don't know what it is. Like Bugs Bunny and the Looney Tunes gang, I enjoy more than anything because it's just like you kind of know what you're getting. You know, you're getting good shit. As to quote Vince McMahon, you're getting good shit. And Mickey Mouse, you're just getting this whole clean, you know, everything's good type attitude. Like the Looney Tunes, you're not supposed to stick your head in a cannon because boom, um, and stuff like. I mean, like the last the last the last Disney cartoon I ever seen was a Goofy movie, and I kind of liked it. I liked Goofy movie. I thought it was kind of like a really, like good movie. Like, and it's a story that you probably will never get to see in a Disney movie and stuff. Like, you'll never get to see that. Like, I enjoy Pirates of the Caribbean. Like, I enjoyed those movies because I really like, you know, history films. I like history about pirates and shit. Like, those are really cool. And I enjoyed Treasure Island. Like, again, I really like the Treasure Island movie. Like, I think because I just like pirate stuff. Like, I just think it's really cool stuff. But, you know, when I look at, you know, the Disney movies and stuff like today, like Disney movies are just, you know, corporate stuff. Like they're just not, original. And for me, like I look forward to seeing what they're gonna do with Space Jam 2. I mean, you know, I do look forward to seeing what they do with Looney Tunes. Like, and it's like one movie I would love to see. Like one movie I know they were gonna make. Um, back I forget when they were gonna do this movie. I don't know if they're doing it. I don't know if the LeBron James, and Space Jam killed it. But I know back in the day they were going to do a Wile E. Coyote movie, and I really wanted to see, this was back in 2019. Warner Brothers was developing a live-action animated film centered on Wile E. Coyote titled Coyote vs. Acme, and it was going to be directed by the Lego Batman director Chris McKay, who was on board um, as producer. John and Josh Silberman were originally going to write the screenplay back in December 2019. It was reported David Green will be directing it. It was also reported that the project was looking for a new writer, with John and Josh Silberman instead co-producing along with McKay, the director of Lego Batman. I really want to see this film because it sounds pretty funny because Acme is the people that kept sending Wile E. Coyote stuff and it kept failing, and it was it either blew up on him, crushed him, got him ran over. And I'm just like, I would love to see this movie because it would be really awesome to see, like, all of a sudden, like, Wile E. Coyote's like, fuck it. Forget the Roadrunner. I'm going after the people who make this shit. like, like, that to me would be funny. And, you know, I, I would love to see it. 'Cause just imagine that. That would be, like, the funniest stuff. Like, all of a sudden, like, Wile E. Coyote's like, fuck it. Roadrunner, you and I, we're done. I'm going after these people. Like, I would love to see that. I would love to see Will Ferrell do the voice of Wile E. Coyote. Like, Will Ferrell should be in anything. Should be in everything. Um, Flintstones movie, Will Ferrell should voice Fred Flintstone. Wile E. Coyote, get Will Ferrell. Like I would love to see that. Like I would love to see um Coyote versus Acme. I would love to see that movie. Like I want to see it. Um, they shouldn't, put it on hold or anything. They should just go ahead and do it. Like I would love to see it. You know, it's kind of like the Lego Batman movie. Like, um, it's been revealed that I think the Lego Batman movie's been pushed back to 2022. I think it is. I know that Chris McKay, of course, is working on not only that, but he's working on. Yeah, they are. They pushed it back. Lego Batman 2 will be. They have a release date for February 4th, 2022. Chris McKay is also working on the Tomorrow War. Never heard of it. Nightwing. Oh, he's doing Nightwing. Oh, that's gonna be interesting. Hmm. And Johnny Quest. He's doing Johnny Quest. Ah, the Hanna-Barbera Johnny Quest cartoon. Wow, that's gonna sound interesting. I hope they do like I can't wait to see what they do with Lego Batman. They need to do it. Like I mean, honestly, like Lego Batman 1 was amazing. I think it's obviously on the list of one of the best Batman movies. Um, it'd be it'd be really cool. And the fun thing about it is Zoe Kravitz did the voice of Catwoman in Lego Batman movie. It'd be really cool to see her like reprise her role as Catwoman in that one. Um, in my opinion, I think you know they should do like you know the movie, and I honestly think like Lego Movie 2 was not the best movie in my opinion of the Lego movies and stuff. Um, it just it I know a lot of people sort of like some people like it, some people don't, but in my opinion, the movie just sucked. I'm sorry, like it didn't have Will Ferrell in it as the villain. It didn't have I mean Will Ferrell was in it. He did a cameo as the Lego character, and then you heard his voice at the end of the movie. But Liam Neeson wasn't in it as good cop, bad cop. They took that away. Um, and it focused mostly on like Chris Pratt references and stuff. Like they referenced his Jurassic Park movie, then they referenced his Guardians of the Galaxy thing. It just really, it just sucked, and it was just like, then what was the point of getting Batman in it? Like, and they totally like. I mean, I love that they did like the Justice League stuff, which was pretty cool, and Jason Momoa I voiced Aquaman in that one. It was really cool, but it just like it wasted like it didn't even reference the Lego Batman movies, and they didn't even like acknowledge that. They just sort of like oh that movie just didn't exist. That movie didn't happen, and it fucking sucked that they didn't reference any of it. Like they just sort of like didn't acknowledge that the Lego Batman movie happened. Like they just sort of like threw it under the bus, like it didn't happen. And instead, like they just sort of like they just wasted time with the character and Alfred. Like they just sort of wasted the entire time of it. And in my opinion of it, like I'd rather see them, take, like if I mean like if I wrote Lego Batman 2, I would take jabs at the second movie. Just sort of like have Alfred come in and just take, several jabs and hits at that movie. Like, like the only cool thing that came out of that movie was the Lego's design, the actual Lego pieces and everything to it. That was like the only good thing about it. Like, like in my opinion, I want to see them do Lego movie too, Lego Batman too, and I would love to see Alfred take sort of like jabs and hits at the Lego movie too. Just like fuck it, just let Alfred take hits at it. Like my opinion of it, like I would love to see them, like the characters I would love to see them bring in for Lego Batman 2. I would love to see them bring in Nightwing. I think that would be really cool. Have Nightwing, have bring him in and sort of like have it reveal like Robin's actually Tim Drake. I know, even though in the movie that says like his name is Dick Grayson, but it's like it'd be really cool to like to change it up a bit. Like have Nightwing sort of have like this surfer dude voice and stuff. Like just sort of have him be like this cool dude and just like that would be really cool. And have Batman be annoyed by him because Nightwing always says bro. You know, just have him annoy Batman on that one. Um, I would love to see them sort of like uh, have a lot of Batman Catwoman moments in the Lego Batman 2. That would be really cool. I love the references that they did with the previous Batman movies. Like you got to see Batman '89, then you got to see Batman Returns, which that one kind of like I was just like, oh my god, they did it! Like it was so cool. Like I was so happy about that one. It was just so awesome, and like I love Batman Returns. Like that is like my favorite Batman movie of all time. Shit, I would love to see them. I would love to see them do a sequel. Like I would love to see them actually do another. Like I would love to see them bring back Michael Keaton, Michelle Pfeiffer, Tim Burton, Danny DeVito, and do well. Danny DeVito died, but I would love to see them do a true sequel to Batman Returns. Like I would love to see that. Like that would be so awesome though. Like it's always cool to see them acknowledge like their Batman Returns like film. Like it was so cool seeing Michelle Pfeiffer, show the Catwoman whip and you know hear Michael Keaton talk about Batman Return, Batman and stuff. Like it was so cool to um you know hear them talk about it and stuff because Batman Returns is like one of those films that is so beautiful. Like, still to this day, like anytime I watch it, I just go like, man, this film is just amazing. Like I think it's like I said before, like one of the best Batman movies on the planet. And anytime I anytime I see it, I just think like it is such a classic, timeless film. Like I know there's some people like that movie aged. Like to me, it didn't. Like the film holds a special place, to me. Like it's actually the first movie I ever got to see Batman in. Like it's the first time I ever got to see like the Batman, movie, and it's it's cool in a way that it's cool that you know in the Crisis on Infinite Earths, like they have Michael Keaton the in the preview, like they show like the newspaper and says like Michael Keaton, says Batman Bruce Wayne marries Selena Kyle, and it's so cool. Like they sort of give a proper ending to they give a proper like happy ending to the Batman Returns, and for me, like I look at it and just like it's really cool. Like I'd love to see them do. I know a lot of people always say like they would love to see Dark Knight Returns with like Michael Keaton, Michelle Pfeiffer in it, like Tim Burton, like Jack Nicholson. But it's like I in a way don't want to see it. Like Jack Nicholson's retired and I don't think he really gives a shit about acting anymore. Like, you know, but also Jack Nicholson I think has like health issues or something. Like he just doesn't want to do it anymore. You really can't blame him. So for me, I would love to see them, continue on the Batman Burton verse, like in a comic. Like I would love to see that, like a comic book, and stuff. Like to me, that would be really awesome. So, um, anyway, it's time to wrap up the show and get going. So, anyway, I will be back tomorrow. I'll be doing another episode. I think we'll be um reading a comic actually, or talking about comics. I don't know. So, I know someone sent me a movie script to read. I don't know why, but let's take a look at it. I know it's kind of like the one of the most. I know someone. I know I mentioned that I was looking for the Superman Reborn script. And yeah, someone sent me the script. Superman Reborn. I think it was the script that they going to do before Kevin Smith came in, and it was just like, no. Hopefully this is it. Like, oh, it is the Superman Reborn. All right. Hmm. All right. Let me read the synopsis on that one. The script is. Alrighty. Superman Reborn. Jonathan Lakeman wrote the new script titled Superman Reborn, which features Lois Lane and Clark Kent's relationship in trouble, Superman's battle with Doomsday. When Superman professes his love to Lois, his life force jumps between them just as he dies, giving Lois a virgin birth. Their child, who grows 21, 21 years old in 3 weeks, becomes the resurrected Superman and saves the world. Okay. Um, that was weird. Okay. Huh. That that is messed up. I'll read the Kevin Smith script instead. That one sounds more fun. So I guess tomorrow we'll read the Kevin Smith Superman Lives script instead. It was kind of fun doing Batman Year One because get to see the glimpse inside the mind of Frank Miller. So yeah, tomorrow we'll read the Kevin Smith Superman Lives, and I've heard that Batman actually makes a cameo in it, which sounds awesome. So I'll see you all tomorrow.